My name is Godwin Masharia. I work with the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization as a plant breeder. Indeed, I lead the wheat improvement program at the Food Crops Research Center in Joro. As a biophysical scientist, we deal with mainly plants, we deal with mainly pests, diseases, soils. And so what has been happening is that we have been saying we have issues around crops, issues like pests. And often we say those issues are cross borders and so forth, until we realize that gender or incorporation of gender issues or planning in what we do in terms of the research itself, in terms of the technologies we are developing is key. DGW in itself is an acronym for Delivering Genetic Gain in Wheat project. It's a multinational project, or is coordinated across a number of countries, Kenya being one of those. This project was born out of an area project we used to call Durable Rust Resistance in Wheat project, just 2 years ago. And the motivation around the project is that we have a key challenge in wheat. The challenge is what we call stem rust disease. In about 10 years or so, highly virulent races of the stem rust disease of wheat were identified in East Africa, particularly and especially actually here in Uganda. And so scientists across the globe, especially those working around the crop wheat, got very much interested. There was kind of some worry, so to speak. And so through that, like I said, it's about 10 years ago, quite a lot of exchange in terms of information, in terms of knowledge, in terms of material. I mean, like germplasm has happened between and among players. And so there have been quite some advance in breeding for resistance to that particular, or those particular races of stem rust that are prevalent in East Africa. That in itself is what was achieved mainly in the Durable Rust Resistance in Wheat project that barely closed shop 2 years ago. This DGW, again, which is Delivering Genetic Gain in Wheat, is kind of a phase 2 of the DRW. Its mandate really is to deliver, or is to make sure that those technologies that were, or those outputs that were achieved from the DRW phase reach out to the clients. And I want to say here the clients are the farmers, because we work for the farmers. You want to imagine that those resistant varieties are the ones we seek really to have produced by the farmers, so at least we are able to increase on wheat productivity in the region and of course in the world. Of the conceptualization of the DGW project, there was the thinking around gender, or incorporating gender for impact. And so when I reviewed that as an implementer of the project, it was not quite clear, because in my training up to PhD, I've never had a chance really to be exposed to exactly what gender is. Indeed, I used to just think about gender as a girl-child empowerment, or it is women, or something like that. And so I feel that through the training I've had these 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks here at Makerere, have really imparted in me a number of, in fact I would say it has changed my philosophy, the whole perception. I would use the concept of gender lens. Where I was blind, I would say I was blind in terms of implementing my research work, blind in the thinking that my research was just for farmers. But now thinking that the farmer is not just farmer as such, it is either that woman farmer, or it is that man farmer, or it is both of those. Having that kind of a thought would help me think about constraints that are specific to farmers, rather women farmers, in reaching out to my wheat varieties. Those constraints that are specific to men in them using my varieties and those improved varieties. So I see an opportunity here that if I disaggregate my clients, I see them as women farmers of those improved varieties, and start considering the issues around what impedes them in adopting and using those varieties. In the same way, I look at men and the issues around them adopting the varieties, using those, and how they decide, indeed, on taking up those technologies and benefiting from those. This is so very important for Karo, because one of the core values, again, in Karo is inclusiveness. Inclusiveness in many other ways, but in gender inclusiveness. So there are all those terminologies. Before I came, I could not really interpret what exactly is that. Though the organization says, yes, our core value, one of the core values, gender inclusiveness, did not know what it is. So I believe I'll be of value, and I believe my colleagues will be ready to receive me and accommodate the techniques or the models I'll share with them about gender issues.